Critique, where I take a look at a different crowdfunding project, typically every weekday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but sometimes I come on at 12:30 and I cover something big, something different, tech. In this case, video games, as we're covering the 58th most popular project in all games on Kickstarter, which is not a particularly great number for what I would imagine is a game that's probably doing pretty well. That's Postal 2 Redux. Now, I will say, main image, pretty garbage. They went with the tried and true method of, hey, we're just going to bank on the fact that you know what we are and you want us. Because other than that, we decided to go with a completely blank backdrop, a cow, which I'm sure is your logo, and then next to nothing, which is disappointing no less. And the one thing that you did try and tell me, which is this little sign down here in the bottom left, I can't see because the text is too small, because you didn't account for the fact that people aren't going to see the image that you uploaded at that size, because they're going to see it smaller, and then when they click on your thing, they're just going to click on the video, most likely, or scroll down. So they're just zoom in. Be part of the gaming history. Support the Postal 2 Redux Founders Edition, crafted by Running with Scissors, Impacted Ink, and Team Beat. Wow, cool. Thanks for wasting this. Half of this is literally you just mentioning your names again, which you already have here, which you don't need. Tell me more. Tell me why, as a Postal 2 fan, I need to back this, or why, as a non-Postal fan, I need to back this. This is supposed to be one of the most edgy games of all time. I've never personally played any of them, either of them, I should say, at least not that I can remember. But what you're doing here is you're just banking on the fact that people know Postal and what Postal is, and you could have used your space in so much other ways. It's just that main image not doing you any favors. Hey, I know that guy. But it's raised $469,000. Kudos to them. It is happening. 62 hours to go. 4,000 backers making it happen. As always with the video, I'm thinking three things. Do I want it? Can you do it? How much is it? And for this one specifically, I'm coming into this from two different perspectives. Someone who has never played Postal, but I'm interested in that edgy style game, and someone who is a Postal fan. Looking at it from both those, let's go. 5 minutes, all right.
The last few years have been non-stop questions about this. Bring Postal 2 to mobile, bring Postal 2 to PlayStation, bring Postal 2 to VR. And it's like, no, it wasn't happening. And now it is.
Oh man, that's fucking awesome.
People are like, Postal 2 is perfect. Why would you do this?
Well, the answer is really very simple. Why not? It's 2025. It's been over 20 years. The community deserves it.
The original game is so good in all the imperfections that make it what it is, and that's not going away. It's always going to be there. We just want to bring the new game up to date.
We made sure we listened to the community, what Postal means to people, why they love it, so that we don't lose any of that.
That's the first guy, well, the first person that's talked where I'm like, okay. I don't know why. The other ones is just like, okay, so we're redoing Postal. We're bringing it up to all these different consoles, but we're not fixing it necessarily. All the little quirks and all those things that were in it before. Got it. Very clear message for the most part to start with. Good stuff.
Along the way, as we're developing Redux.
And quite frankly, Postal 2 is the original game that built the Postal community. And
so right now we're pretty much saying, hey, we're not going to edit this. We're not PCing this. You don't have to worry about, that favorite thing that happens at the 20-hour mark not being there. This little Easter egg that's way out of line, that's still there. So good. Emphasizing that because honestly, you got to know what your fans want, and your fans are going to want that. So kudos.
Redux is the one that's going to just take it over the top.
That's the magic of what Postal 2 is. It really is. It's got an amazing fan community that has endlessly worked on mods, and we've hired them and we've brought them in to continue to work on this game.
There's cool things that...
That's great. Third of a point grade bump up right there for mentioning that, because that is especially... you shouldn't categorize people, but in my mind, I'm categorizing the fans of Postal 2, and I imagine if we took a poll, most of them probably are pro-modding and anti, the people who are like, nah, down with the mods. We got to kill all these mods. Just shot in the dark. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But yeah, come on. Yeah, so good. I love the fact they're spotlighting that.
Postal 2 fans have been asking for years to get in the game.
Shot.
And
Very
finally,
good
with the Kickstarter, they have a chance to get those in there.
I'd say the ultimate stretch goal would be Postal 2 the week after.
Excellent. We're already segueing into stretch goals. I love how they're formatting this video.
We've always wanted to tell the tale of what happens in between Postal 2 and Postal 4 with new celebrities and some new characters, and not that hellscape game that we don't talk about.
The stretch goal,
I absolutely adore the level of candidness that they are having. And with a game like Postal, what it is, you should expect that. So kudos. Like, yeah, Postal 3 sucks. Sorry. Moving on. There's tons of bands that have done that. There's tons of directors that have done that. Actors, actresses. So I appreciate the honesty there. And we want to make this newer. We want to make another game. That's really why we're here. Let's be quite frank. But yeah, the extra money that's going to come in from redoing this game is going to be great. But we want to bring this other game, and we think you're going to love it because it's not Postal 3. But it'll get you to Postal 4. So an unofficial Postal 3 is what it feels like, which then lead with that. Put that in your main thing. The unofficial Postal 3, the oops are bad, like something like that. But the main image, garbage. Description, garbage.
Most excited for is anything around online play because it's crazy and fun.
Because we see GTA making tons of cash. Good, good, good. And once again, this feels like one of those things that you could have mentioned. Like, there's so much blank space around the words Postal 2 on your main image. Now with multiplayer. Like, just, there you go. It's 4 words. I don't know, 3 words maybe.
Is Postal 2 is.
Hyphen.
It's even more fun when you play with friends.
Also appreciate the
On top of
subtitles.
that, we've got brand new multiplayer modes that we've just dreamed up, especially around the mechanics of Postal. And you know what that means? Pissing on each other.
I'm really gonna bust if I don't take a piss immediately.
Oh, I gotta put non-suitable work on this.
That's the stuff.
And the most exciting part that we are making it for cross-platform, including VR.
The Kickstarter is for
MetaQuest
Postal
3
2
I own.
Redux. Postal 2 VR is going to benefit from it as well. Any of the stretch goals hit will also come across to Postal 2 VR.
So for the first time ever, you get a chance to form what the final version of this game could actually look like, just by backing the Kickstarter.
We're going to bring to you the opportunity to piss, to do things that you could have never imagined before in 2026.
I could never imagine pissing in 2026. 2025, last time I pissed.
And that's what our commitment is to you.
I think one of the coolest features that people tend to love is when you cut someone's and then you
Thank you for
dog,
editing that.
the will head and head,
Okay. There's the edge.
and you will then be able to
I was waiting for this, by the way. I assumed there would be a small part of this. I think I even put it on the marquee, the title of this video.
pet the dog. Which you haven't been able to do in the past.
The real reason to have the Kickstarter
So it's even more choices. Cool.
is for us to go beyond anything any of us could have imagined. And while we're in development, it's to not stop any new ideas.
One of the things that we talked about early on when making this company was we just want to make games that we want to play. We are all just gamers in the end. And when we saw that we had a chance to do Postal 2, we couldn't pass that up.
As a gamer, the thing I look forward
Let's go,
to
Mom.
most is just the freedom of Postal 2. Although you're playing the Postal 2 dude, you're not constrained by a narrative and missions that you have to go to where you're just watching things play out. You are the Postal dude. You decide what
Yeah,
he
this
does.
definitely feels like
you
not your main
decide
video
how to
stuff,
go
like
through your day.
separate video.
I think it's kind of that freedom built in with an ingenious AI system that just rewards you messing about.
If you're a fan of Postal 2 and you are super excited about this project, I think the most
I kind of love the idea of the artificial intelligence in there. That's me personally. Obviously, AI is one that's very hit or miss with different people, but that's kind of a fascinating, like a sandbox game where AI is going to dictate what the hell happens. That sounds like, honestly, I don't like. Maybe that's something you lean on there. Like, I'm going back to that main image. I'm going back to that marquee that is just you telling us your names and like what could be in there.
important thing you can do is back the Kickstarter. Make sure you share it with your friends and your family, people you don't know, people you hate, people you love.
None of us are huge companies. Team Beef, Latvia Studios, Running with Scissors. We are just gamers trying to make games. And the Kickstarter will allow us to help you, the fan, get the game to exactly where you want it to be.
The cool thing about Kickstarter is there's a ton of great rewards. Anytime you want to have a key for the game, be it for Redux or for VR, you're going to be able to buy that, likely at a price that's going to be cheaper than retail when it comes out.
You're going to be able to piss like never before, endless streaming, using today's technology. Now you could take that to the urinal.
See, I feel like his comedy's hitting better, personally, and I feel like this could have easily been trimmed 90 seconds, and this would have been an absolutely superb 3-minute and 30-second video. As it stands now, like, we're dragging.
Sorry.
Got it, okay. So, after the video, do I want... Yeah, I do! I actually, I mostly play online competitive style games, so, but I'm hoping to get more into video game stuff. This looks fun. I want to play the game. I like Grand Theft Auto. I like the idea of a lot of stuff here, and I've always heard the rumors about this game and what it's like. So, as someone who's not a fan, yeah, I want to check it out. As someone who is a fan, yeah, I feel like that video did a great job, albeit a little bit long. Do I want it? Yes. Can you do it? Yeah. Like, once again, you did a great job in that video, specifically cutting from person to person to person, letting us know these are the 3 people from the different studios who are working on they're coming at this from different perspectives. Great job. Can you do it? Yes. How much is it? We don't know. Hopefully we don't beat around the bush. We get to the price quick, and hopefully we have a nice, fun shopping area, pledge area for your backers. I'm going to guess we don't. Shot in the dark. I hope I'm wrong. First grade, 0 backs. I am definitely going to guess we don't. At Flat VR2 Studios, we do stuff. We've never done anything on Kickstarter before, at least here, but okay. Not necessarily a deal breaker, like not worried about that it's not going to get to you. It just means I'm worried this is going to be a fun ride. Campaign stretch goals. I love we're mentioning those first. Time of day effects. We want Paradise AC to look its best. To do some with this goal met. We can put extra development resources. Why is this words? Give me the pictures. There it is. There's the pictures. Sandbox mode. We just want to enjoy some more in Paradise. We'll add a mode where you can roam. At what? When? At what price? This is like, go look at the industry standard. This is the industry standard. Why are you telling us this? Put this in here. Like, that's the play. But I do love we're leading off with the stretch goals. Kickstarter funded. Time of day effects are in. Sandbox mode is in. Console modding support is in. I would have a brief little description here because if I'm coming here now, I'm even more excited. Co-op support, I want to hit. That's a banger. 600K. Let's get there. 130. Ooh, that's a big jump. That's a big jump. Apocalypse Weekend Reimagined. New multiplayer modes. More stretch goals will be announced as we hit them. However, we wanted to highlight 2 upcoming goals all Postal fans should be excited about. Apocalypse. Prices would be great to spotlight too. That would be the play right here. If you ever played Apocalypse Weekends, this is Running with Scissors and Postal's take on a zombie apocalypse. So this is just a whole different game. So that sucks hard. That's a third of a point grade bump down, and that looks like a you over your fans move. Do you think your fans would rather A, have new multiplayer modes, or B, have an entirely different game that's like Postal 2 stuff? Like, but I don't know. Like, that just feels self-serving. And that's just me as an outsider looking at that. I'm like, oh, you're gonna gatekeep that? Not a great look, but still, you got stretch goals listed there. I'd say a little cart in the horse since we're at 400,000 and we're talking about 800,000, but I don't necessarily hate it. Pigeon missing. Reinstating the pigeon missing is something we achieved in our pre-launch stretch goal. What are we doing here?
When in the first place, Apocalypse Weekend is linear.
Is that why are we talking about? Okay, we're talking more about Apocalypse Weekend. Hey, Postal the week after. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that me, as a Postal fan, I'm interested in, and presumably I'm also interested in if I just stumble in here. You heard that right. The top of stretch goal will be an official sequel to Postal 2 and its expansions. So that's already happened. We've already hit that, right? Because you said that's the top. Because the top one to me looks like time of day effects, which is not what you're saying here. The top stretch goal. So it's happening already?
I'd say the ultimate stretch goal.
Oh, cool. Thank you for clipping that 16-second clip from the video that I just watched instead of a different video explaining what the hell is going on, because you say this is your top stretch goal, and it actually really excites me as a Postal 2 fan and a Postal 4 fan who hates Postal 3, which is you. It's confusing. It's fine. It shouldn't be. Like, that's what I'm saying. It should not be confusing in any way, shape, or form. Stretch goals are typically very simple. Unless, of course, you have different stretch goals that apply to different, categories. Like, oh, this one's only for these 3 pledges, but that's not you. I don't think. I wouldn't know because you haven't gotten to your pledge areas. You don't want my money. You want to keep talking. So this is the trailer. Okay, how we got here. Story, okay, stuff, things. I just want the price to be nice. And I know you can go over here and you can get it. But if you watch this show, then you know exactly what I'm going to say, which is if you're on iOS or if you're on mobile, which is a huge chunk of the people that browse Kickstarter, you have to make an extra click to see this section where the prices are. So now they're just meandering about. Can I just get to the prices? Pre-launch stretch goals. Oh, there's a physical copy too. Cool. Shout collectively. Redux. Postal Redux is being offered through Lost and Cult with an exclusive Kickstarter backer. Exclusive. So just give me the price here would be where I'd want it. Oh, we actually have buried in this pile of random stuff. It feels like all the effort was put into the video that they just kind of dumped everything here. VIP, become an NPC, message from the portal to smoke your cat, best doggo. See, honestly, I go back to that 5-minute video and it feels like 90 seconds was wasted. I feel like this would have been the better opportunity. I feel like you should have sprinkled this in at some point, talking about how cool the different pledge levels are that I can back. Because right now, I don't even know the price. And I sure as heck don't know the cost of these. And it's just... It's not a fun Kickstarter page to go through. We're adding some additional add-ons on Sunday, August 17th at 11 a.m. Okay. Pre-launch stretch goals. Neat. I like how this is more important than the followers. Also, the text is so incredibly tiny. I can barely read it. Thanks to everyone who supported. Already unlocked several. Oh gosh, this is just a cluttered. There's that again. Second time. So there's no shipping information, despite the fact you presumably are shipping physical products. There's no prices in your story, which once again, tell me all stuff about your game. In particular, the pledges. Like, yeah, this is ick. That's a full 2/3 point grade bump down. That was not a fun experience for anybody. All right, let's just get over here to the money because you clearly. Thanks, bud. 150 people. So $35 gets it to you on Steam and Steam VR / cool. Awesome. Seems reasonable. No problems. MetaQuest 3. Oh, I have oh man, Meta Horizon. Either way, 29. Cool. Standard digital key, 38. Yeah, like this is all you had to do was just have the pledge area. This reeks of not doing your homework in any way, shape, or form, right? Because here's how it pretty much works out. Video games are evolutionarily behind board games in crowdfunding, in my personal opinion. And that's from covering a lot of board games and covering a lot of video games, right? It's just, when you go to a board game campaign, they typically are much nicely laid out, and they have lots more stuff, and this just feels like just a sneeze of random information all over the story. It's not fun, and it could have just been like $7. Thank you. $35 gets you the Steam key. $35 gets you that. $38 gets you this. And it's like I'm scrolling down now. It's like, all right, at what point am I going to stop giving you money? And it's a fun experience as a Postal fan, potentially, because there's lots of cool things that I could potentially give you extra money for. You could have made it a fun ride, a fun trip to go on, and instead, it's like, oh, well, let me see if I can figure this crap out. 55, because this is just me finding the price. I still don't know about the add-ons. Like, is that, I'm assuming, because it looks like there's a 5 million, oh my God, why do you have this many? 58, all right, so that gives me the PlayStation Store, okay. 75 for the physical, 75 for PC. Once again, also, I always say this for video games, it seems so incredibly obvious. Put the logo of the systems that your game is going to be on your main image. And I say that with a capital duh. And it's just, I'm not just knocking them. I've had to say that in many previous video game Kickstarters. Like, why wouldn't you want people just browsing to see that it's for the system they own? Okay, so anywho, we got a PC. Cool. Oh, there's a vinyl. Okay. You just kind of sprung that on me, unless I sifted through this. Maybe I missed it in that. If you put the little consideration and effort into your campaign, I don't want to know the product will look like in the end. Well, it is just a redoing. It just reeks of like first time creators and not going around and like looking at what the industry standard is. And I imagine that they're probably not the happiest with their number. And I'm not saying that they're not happy with $400,000, but if you have stretch goals going to $800,000, then presumably many more stretch goals, you were expecting more. And I wonder if they're looking at themselves like, so what didn't hit the mark? And I can't help but think of like how unfun of experience this is. So I don't want to give you extra money. Yeah, I'll give you that 55. I'll get you the 28. Okay, so it's a digital Play S5. What's different about this? Physically and digitally. Okay, cool. Signed physical copy, $192. Awesome. A classic revisited. The original big box Postal 1 printed with the classic artwork offered by, okay. Worst game ever. So Postal 2, so there's 10. So this is a whole different pledge. Let's hope they won't go Postal. I imagine that they're pretty. I can't imagine they're too unhappy with $400,000, but I imagine they had much bigger hopes. The Ultimate Pack. Oh, hey, look at all this random crap we haven't mentioned to you in any way, shape, or form. Unless, like, did we talk about this? The Ultimate Pack contains a Champs collar, postcards, art. Yeah, 7 backers. Yep, there you go. What do you read into that? Hopefully they read into that. You just kind of sprung it on me, and I had to sift through a bunch of other crap to get through it. It's when I talk about, like, the FAQs. When you have, like, 15 FAQs, if you don't organize them, it's annoying to go through your FAQ, and it makes me just not want to do it. If my question's question number 14, it's not fun. If my pledge is pledge number 13, it's not fun. Like, and you could have made it fun. Like, it could have been the complete opposite. It could have been the highlight. There are some campaigns where you go through, and it's like, oh, that pledge area, that was the fun part, seeing exactly where I was going to get off on the ride, and you just bundled that. 48 hours only. Well, it's still here. So apparently, you were expecting more. Become an NPC. Oh, hey, there. 2 people took it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Do you really believe that if you had actually marketed this properly and showcased it, maybe even just teased it in the video, you would not have more than, 18. Never mind. I looked at the other way. I thought it was 2. I was going to flip out. I was like, Jesus Christ, 2. I still feel like that totally be sold out. Maybe if you just spotlight a little bit more. It did make me scroll for a freaking hour to find it. Redux, launch party, VIP. Nobody. Oh. Ow. Maybe, just maybe, you should have mentioned it for 4 seconds at the end of the video. Just like, I love the fact they have those, because those are a great way to get extra chunks of money, but why have them if you're barely even going to spotlight them? Whoever's running the Kickstarter, I think, has really bungled away hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think that is a very fair assessment, and that sucks to say. Like, that sucks to say, but, like, that wasn't a fun trip. And then it's not organized, so whatever. Will existing owners get a free coffee? Whatever. Updates. Check out the updates. See what the most engaging one is. 8. Oh, backers only. That's fun. Thanks for that. 0. 42. 10. 14. So the most engaging is 42. Let's see what they did to get people engaged there. The other one was a poll, which is always good. Unless you hide it, so I can't even see the results. Because why can't I see it without backing? Yeah, there we go. So there you go. They put a dog, a dog. There was a dog. That's all it was. It was just a dog. You saw a dog, and that was the most engaging one. That should tell you that perhaps you should try and engage harder with your audience. Because here's the bottom line. I see this, and I imagine there's a loyal, fervent fan base, and you could have rallied them. You could have, because 58th. Once again, I go back to what I always check, which is how popular is this on Kickstarter. That's not my personal opinion. There's a tab you could sort by how popular projects are based on a variety of criteria. And right now, despite the fact that they are in the last 62 hours, they are nearing the end, when typically in board games and in a lot of things, there's spikes at the end. I don't really see that. because you're not even really engaging people that well. Like, you're like, if you guys really want, and it's partially because your stupid stretch goal. Yeah. Well, no, the co-op support's actually a banger. Like, the co-op is 155 billion% a banger. And it's like now you can play, and you're like, it's just, it's not a set it and forget it kind of thing. Boy, I love doing these 12:30 shows where we go outside of board game land because it's just, it's a whole wild world. Got the numbered reprint pack as an add-on. Got the numbered reprint pack as an add-on. The estimated shipping is shown as $1,000+. I guess this is only a typo, right? I know that saying to Germany seems problematic, but isn't the game, is it illegal here? Yeah, $1,000 will smuggle it in. Well, we got good run, guys. If co-op support tiers at reach with the mode be considered a later update if possible. Sorry if this has been asked for, but will Redux include enhanced mode? Not going to 100% confirm it. Will be exactly the same as there's some balancing differences. Could we ask for an update on the dubbing in other languages? We are making a framework. Cool. With 3 days remaining, when will the assigned things be available? Also, the second question, a bit silly, but I'm guessing you couldn't have a physical pledge tier called Air. Okay. I wonder how long until the game release. Yeah, that's okay. So they're in here. They're responding. They're doing customer service. So cool. I want to see how many new people this brings in. Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. That is absolutely astoundingly incredible. And why I never ever try and like compare GameFound to Kickstarter sometimes. Without looking at it from a broader sense, because that's 1,972 people joining Kickstarter, signing up for Kickstarter, that were not signed up for Kickstarter in the last 13 years since Kickstarter's happened, from one project. Like, that is, it's fantastic. And I covered one that had like hundreds and hundreds last time too, so good for Kickstarter. Postal 2 Redux, though, not a fun trip, not a fun ride. I want it, though. Do I want it? Yeah, I do. I've never played Postal, but I've heard about it. It seems fun. I want the new edition. The price is not terribly unreasonable, even though you kind of meandered to get to it, and you didn't really do a great job spotlighting it. It was not a fun experience at all. Your story sucked. Your story sucked hard. It felt like it was just a rough draft sneezed on there that wasn't even organized. It reeks of not looking around at the industry standard, and I think it cost them a lot of money, unfortunately. And judging by their stretch goals, I think they would probably honestly not disagree with that assessment. Can you do it? Yeah, I'm not worried about it. You got $470,000 to do it, which is still a big chunk of cash, $220 more than you asked. So can you do it? Yes. I think they want to do a lot more things. I think that decision to put more game modes below redoing an entirely different game, to make it so I really have to try and figure out if that extra game that I want is going to be mine. Like, I still don't know. I would have to go do more digging because you just did such an incredibly terrible job on your stretch goals. Don't tell me it's your top stretch goal when I can literally scroll 4 inches and say, oh, that's not the top stretch goal. In fact, I don't even see it as a stretch goal. If it already happens when we get funded, then list that. Say, oh, this happens when we get funded. This and this. Like, it's not difficult. There's so many things that are not difficult. And I was worried about this. I think I even predicted that this story was not going to be a fun one after I watched that video, because that video was very polished. It was very well put together. And it looks like the kind of video they're like, all right, we got the video. Done. And the video did a great job. I think it was like still 90 seconds too long, or could have been 90 totally different seconds that would have been way more helpful. But not spotlighting your big cash cow pledges with a loyal fan base, a fervent fan base, that you have something that next to no one else can offer them, because you have this game, you have this nostalgia, you have the, it's just, yeah. Final grade is not great. Do I want it? Yes. Can you do it? Yes. How much is it? Yes. So that in theory should be a good grade, but still not a fun experience to get there. I think overall, if you're a fan of Postal 2, all that will set to the side. You'll probably throw them $30 to $50, which, once again, they were shooting for more. And I think if you're not, it's more on the maybe side. It's more, honestly, I think at this point it's more on the, why don't I just wait until it's released on Steam and goes on sale and I can pick it up for $4 kind of thing. I think that's what a lot of people probably did. But they still brought in 2,000 loyal fans. I'm going to go with a C-. No, I'm going to go with a deep C-, because I like a lot of stuff they did. That video, like the candidness, is all good, but man. Yeah, C-. Postal 2 Redux feels like could have been more. And just this main image. Like, you're not doing yourself any favors. Mention your stretch goals. Mention the systems. Mention anything. And then this too. D+. D+, the more I look at that, it's just what could have been. It's last 62 hours, 58th in popularity. And once again, I always say this, always, 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 to every single video game company on the planet, if you are launching a Kickstarter, please implore your people in your Discord to have a Discord blackout for a month and keep all the chit-chat and the updates in the comments if possible, so that way you can get yourself higher on the popularity chart. So the last 48 hours you're not sitting at 58th popularity where you're gonna hope people stumble onto you. D+, let me know in the comments below what's your final grade. If you're enjoying the content, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below. Will you do the Starfinder Afterlight campaign? I will write it down and I will try and get to it. Have a good one. Bye bye.